Hey there, it's Joseph, and welcome back to the YouTube channel dedicated to San Miguel de Allende's secrets. And today we're going to be talking about the history of Mexico in a single mural. As always, if you need more information, in the descriptive box below are links to various websites, including a link to Amazon.com with all the best-selling books for sale in the San Miguel de Allende's Secrets series. The Allende Institute features a large mural in the center courtyard, painted by Mexican muralist David Leonardo in 1999, featuring a mix of national and a dash of local history, as it's often pointless to try to separate the two. The timing of the mural's events are linear, left to right, starting with the arrival of the Spanish up to present-day Mexico. Often group events are fairly self-explanatory, but it's easy to overlook individuals, particularly those not visually famous to foreigners. So let's look deeper at who's who and some of the individuals depicted in the mural. This is Sarwana. One of the most significant figures in Mexican history wasn't a conqueror or ruler, but a 17th century nun known for her charm, beauty, and wit. Also for being a self-educated genius who composed poems that were the most important body of poetic work produced in the Americas until the arrival of the 19th century figures such as Emily Dickinson and Walt Whitman. Sarwana Inez de la Cruz's most viewed likeness is featured in the older 200 peso notes, or the newer 100 notes. The paper bill contained her famous quote in very tiny print, deploring the stupidity of men who question the intellectual capacity of women. To the right there are Hernan Cortez and La Malinchine. Hernan Cortez was the blonde conquistador that conquered the Aztecs and began the Spanish rule of Mexico. La Malinchine was his indigenous paramour/interpreter. La Malinchine was long seen as an evil temptress that betrayed her people in books, films, and plays for aiding Cortez. Later, with the rise of the feminist movement, she started being portrayed as an empowered woman who took control over her life and career, reaching unprecedented heights of power and influence. Either way, she is universally seen as the mother of the first mixed-race child in the Americas for having given birth to Cortez's son. Here we have Miguel, Hildago y Castillo. To the left there in the black. During the planning of independence from Spain, it was very important to the insurgents to have a priest on their side. A priest would show the masses that it was a war against Spain, not a war against the church. That priest was Father Hildago, a very different thinker. He taught the indigenous trades, like making brightly colored pottery, still made in his namesake city, Dolores Hidalgo, enabling them to support themselves in illegal action at the time. He also took certain priestly vows less seriously than others, fathering 7 children among 3 indigenous women. Behind him is the flag he carried holding the image of Guadalupe, the Virgin of Mary that appeared outside Mexico City, symbolizing the birth of a new country, Mexico, and of a new mixed race of Europeans and indigenous. She is featured on the flag grabbed by Father Hildago, becoming the Mexican Virgin for an independent Mexico. There in the center on the white horse is Ignacio Allende, the founding father of Mexico and namesake to San Miguel de Allende. He grew up in the house next to the parroquia, and like all the other male insurgents, died during the War for Independence from Spain. It is he on the horse featured in the middle of Plaza Civica, and much the same pose as he is here in the mural. Here we have the woman in black on both sides, Josefa Ortiz de Dominguez, the wife of the Spanish-appointed mayor of Querétaro. She fought for independence against Spain. Mother of 14, she opposed the oppressive Spanish colonial government in favor of the indigenous and mixed races. Organizing political meetings under the guise of book clubs, she became pals with Miguel Hidalgo and Ignacio Allende, and it was she that got the news that the Spaniards were aware of the plans to Hildago and Allende officially starting the War for Independence. In Mural, she is the only character seen twice, often facing each other as she is the only insurgent to survive the war and see Mexico once it was free from Spain. In between the two Josefas is St. Michael. Michael was an archangel, meaning that he was created to be an angel, never human. Since he was never human, he has no male genitalia. In art, he'll always be big and strong, as he beats the devil and removes him from heaven. However, if you look closely, he'll never have a beard or body hair, while maintaining a sense of style, fashion, and creamy skin. That's why in local processions he's portrayed by teenage girls, because they've got the best hair in town. St. Michael is the town's namesake, as the Battle of the Barbarians between the Spanish and the indigenous ended on his feast day back in the 16th century. Here we have Maximillian and Carlotta. Following freedom from Spain, the French decided to toss a blonde relative of Napoleon, Maximilian, and his young wife Carlotta over to the newly formed Mexico to make it a French colony. The defeat of the French after only 3 years is where the celebration Cinco de Mayo comes from. May 5th is a big celebration in northern Mexican restaurants, largely because it rhymes, but means little here in Mexico. The Spanish conquered and controlled Mexico for 300 years, the French a mere 3. Suffice to say, independence from Spain is more widely celebrated. Carlotta was in Europe pleading with the Vatican to support the French rule of Mexico when she got word of Maximilian's demise. Distraught, she spent the rest of her life rowing a boat in an insane asylum's lake trying to reach Mexico. It was a fun part for Bette Davis seen here to portray in film, if only as practice for her more memorable role as the less than stable Baby Jane Hudson. School children. Many murals around town featured school-aged children symbolizing the future of Mexico. Surprisingly, the mural is not my favorite for Mexican history. That mural is on Aurora and is currently in decay as the parking lot it visually blocks is about to be sold and the mural soon destroyed. For now, though, it features a procession of local image makers from the indigenous times to Hollywood to the present-day Mexican Maria doll. Murals, like flowers, are ethereal, so enjoy all of them around the town while you can. As always, feel free to click subscribe now and you'll get automatic notifications of new videos as they're released here on the YouTube channel dedicated to San Miguel de Allende secrets.